In this example, we want to write the converse of the conditional statement, and then we'll determine the converse's validity. So the converse of a conditional statement, all we need to do is we need to identify the original hypothesis, which is here, and the original conclusion, and we're just going to switch those two positions. We still write if first, but then we're going to write if the roads are slippery. Then it is snowing outside. If the roads are slippery, then it's snowing outside. That's false. And we could say, could be raining. Or any other myriad of things could be happening. Could be icy. Doesn't have to be snowing for it to be icy. If the Bears score a touchdown, then they will beat the Packers. So here we're going to write if they, and they is the Bears, so you can write the Bears if you want. If the Bears beat the Packers, then the Bears, or they, scored a touchdown. And this is false. I don't know if this has actually happened. It might happen in the future, who knows. But a score of 3-0 for the Bears would be a field goal. And they wouldn't have scored, no one would have scored a touchdown, the Bears certainly wouldn't have, and they would still be beating the Packers. So this is a counterexample. If I eat a lot of sugar, then I will be on a sugar high. Here we can write if I am on a sugar high, then I ate a lot of sugar. Now at first glance this would seem, oh yeah, that's true, definitely. Well, actually, this is false. You could drink lots of sugary drinks. So you don't have to consume the sugar in sugar form, like eating it. You could have had some to drink, and that would also give you a sugar high. There are 3 more for this example 1. We've got if 2 angles are congruent, then they have the same measure. So we're going to write if they, meaning 2 angles, so we can just write 2 angles if you want. If 2 angles have the same measure, then they, the 2 angles, are congruent. Well, let's see. If 2 angles have the same measure, then they're congruent. Yeah, that's true. In part E, if the measure of angle A is 120 degrees, then angle A is obtuse. We're just going to write the converse here, so if angle A is obtuse, then the measure of angle A is 120 degrees. This statement would be false, though. What about if angle A is 100 degrees? That would still be obtuse, but the measure isn't 120. So that's false. If 2 angles are vertical angles, then they are congruent. So we can write if they, and that's just 2 angles here, are congruent, then the 2 angles, or they, are vertical angles. This is false. I can give you a picture here if you'd like. So let's make that 33 degrees. Let's make this angle 33 degrees. Those 2 angles are congruent. Are they vertical angles? No. So this is a counterexample. I've provided you 2 angles that are congruent, but are not vertical angles.